Peace. So, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Do like a dish video on my shows, because I know there's a few of you who are faithful reality TV watchers like I am. So, inspired by a couple of awesome videos I saw about 90 Day Fiance, or before the 90 days recaps, I decided to throw in my own 2 cents so that some of you can get more of my recap information than just the couple sentences that I like to put on Facebook. So this is for those of you who faithfully watch with me and have your own thoughts. So we'll just get right into it. So it is I think the middle of season 2 of Before the 90 Days, which is a nice concept and departure from once they get to the United States and they start 90 Day Fiance, because then it's like it starts the K-1 visa process. This is how these people actually get into these relationships, is what Before the 90 Days is about. So we've got some interesting characters this season, and I'm not going to go back and recap like every episode. I just recently watched episode 5, which was the one that aired on September 2nd. So I'm kind of going to go up to that point to figure out where we're at. I cannot wait for tomorrow night's episode, and then I'll make another video, so there'll be like 2 of these back to back on my channel. So let's get to it. Starting some dish. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about Angela and Michael. Angela is, you know, I mean, she's living her best life for her. Having been on Maury Povich twice already, because she's accused her daughter of having a baby that's not her with the boyfriend. Like, I mean, I hesitate to use the word trashy, but it's for sure not the classiest situation. You know, I mean, like, Mama's well endowed too. Like, I get it. I get that her boobs come out of those shirts, but you would think that you had done a little more research going to an African country where they're either pretty spiritual, religious in some way, shape, or form, or they're borderline Muslim. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you got there? So Angela is in love with her soulmate, Michael, who is a 30-year-old Nigerian man. Which, yes, I mean, right? Like, all the scammers are from Nigeria. So, I mean, this seems like a setup for disaster, right? Like, just, if you had to write a recipe for something that's going to go wrong, it's probably going to be these two. But I mean, he's pretty blatantly just putting up with her BS so that he can get his green card. More power to him. I think there's other better ways into the country than dealing with Angela and her constant, like, smacking him. But, you know, I mean, he does straighten her hair, so maybe I should get a Nigerian man. The 24-year age gap is just, plus the cultural differences, like, I don't know where they're gonna go. So I think that they are, I don't know if they're gonna make it into the actual, like, 90-day process, either on their own in reality or on TLC's, like, actual show. So we'll see. Who's next? Tariq and Hazel. I don't know what to say about these two. Like, I think if they were both in America, they would probably have a shot of it. But Hazel's, like, scared of her own shadow. But I think that girl's hiding some secrets. I really do. I don't know how she thinks she's going to leave her son. Like, even though she doesn't have custody of him. Like, there's just, I think there's a lot of stuff at play. I think she really wants to fall in love with an American man. I think she's going to be shocked by the fact that, unlike Tariq's representation of America, we're not actually still in 1994. Like, him and his outfits sometimes and just his like general methodology. Like whatever relationship he had, I think started in 1994, like his ex-wife or his family or whatever. And I don't think he ever moved past that time. But I mean, I just don't know with them. I really don't. Like, they're just kind of like, I didn't fully understand what happened in the cafe. Like, I know that the brother, Tariq's brother, Dean, like, first of all, where are these people getting money to, like, just fly off to the Philippines? Like, oh, my brother's going to marry this chick. I'm going to go to the Philippines and check her out. Like, the plane tickets. Like, I can barely get to Milwaukee on a flight, like, to afford it. Like, how are these people buying tickets all over the world? But I digress. Anyway, so Dean comes. He wants to meet Hazel. Hazel's super nervous about it. Tariq's having to talk her down, which in and of itself, like, he knew he was sending her into the lion's den. But he somehow goes off half-cocked in the middle of this little teeny cafe, and they just ended their part of the show. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what I think is going to go on with that, but we'll see. The next one's Paul and Karini. Oh my gosh, Paul, our little overpacker, prepared for literally everything. They live in like a 200 square foot apartment or Airbnb of some kind, that most of which is taken up with his footlockers of stuff and the 14 bags of stuffed animals he brought Karini the first day that they were back together. Like, so he tells her she's a child. She kind of is a child. I mean, she's 19, maybe 20 now. And he buys her like 32 stuffed animals, like, and then he has to clean them up every day. And I'm also like, could someone set me straight? Is she actually pregnant, or was that just a setup? Because do the parents know? Like, I feel like I might have missed an episode somewhere when we were in the hospital and then coming home from the hospital. But my DVR says I watched them all, so I don't know. Maybe it's lying to me. Is she pregnant or is she not? And maybe I need to just go back and watch all 5 of them again before tomorrow night. Not that it really matters. I mean, talking to someone via an electronic app on the phone with a fake voice, like in the year and a half that they've been dating, and he was on Before the 90 Days on season 1. And he hadn't met her yet, but he was going down there, but he'd been talking to her for like a few weeks. Like, Rosetta Stone much? I mean, like, you found this app that translates everything. How did you not find an app that says, learn some basic Portuguese? Like, you're resourceful enough to find like river condoms so that you don't get bacteria in your urethra. Find something that teaches you Portuguese. She's trying to learn English. I don't understand what his problem is. So, but I mean, good for him that he gets translators every time he turns around. I don't even know how he like orders food, like when they go to a restaurant without the translator. So now he wants to act like he's getting this shaft because his immature girlfriend doesn't want to get up out of the bed because, again, is she having morning sickness? Is she having muscle weakness? Is she just lazy AF? I don't know. So he is a train wreck. You cannot look away. I don't think that they're going to make it. And I'm not even positive why Karini wants so badly to have an American boyfriend. Like, she hasn't learned that much English. Like, there's just a lot of holes in this story, but it makes for entertaining TV because God bless Paul. I mean, I don't even know, like, he's like his own walking Amazon, not in the Amazon, which is where he is, but like Amazon, the store. Like, he has everything in those Foot Lockers. I'm surprised their place isn't robbed. Okay, moving on. Ricky and fill in the blank, right? Melissa, the sex pot. who doesn't, I mean, she's made of plastic. Like, she doesn't even look, she's pretty. But what did they have conversations about? It was like, I think their texts were mostly just her sending him like suggestive photos. Like, here, look at my boobs down my shirt. And then all of a sudden, here comes Jimena. Jimena. I think that's how you say it. Jimena. It's Ximena. I know how to spell it. I just don't remember how to say it. And Jimena's like, let's go. He's like, hey, I'm in town. Do you want to meet? She's like, where you at? I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow soon. And she's probably coming from like the bush. So, I mean, like, had she been in the neighborhood, she probably would have been there that night. But she comes, bags packed, sees the rose petals, and she's like, let's go. What you waiting for? So he had to have been talking to her for longer, right? I mean, and then why does he need to tell her, I didn't come here for you? I'm not sure this is a smart move for this man. I don't think that he's full of smart moves to start with, but I don't know. I don't know that he needs to risk this early in the situation, because she's like all in with him. So I don't know what to say about him. Like, I don't understand why he feels the need. I don't know if this was a setup by the producers, or if he really was talking to both of them, or if Melissa was the setup. Because hello, like, he was there for 4 days. How did she not, like, she on some level she had to agree to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet you. Or else why would he have gone down there to meet this chick who was like, sorry, I gotta study. Peace out. I mean, she got dragged. I mean, like, I think the producers like threatened her within an inch of her life to finally go to this date with him on day whatever that was, 2 or 3. So I think Jimena's cute. I think they match more together. I think she's probably more real. I wish them the best. Can you hear my cats fighting in the background? Like, they're... Like, I fed them yesterday. I don't understand what they're so upset about. I had to go to the store and get food. Cute. At least it's my kids. My kids are on the other side of the door. Probably fighting with each other downstairs. So, yeah. I think Melissa's out of the picture. I don't know that she was ever really in the picture with him. But Jimena, let's see what's happening with Jimena. We'll see what happens when Ricky decides to open his big mouth about, I actually came here for this sex goddess who didn't want anything to do with me. So you're a great backup. Thanks for the pity F. And I'll just continue to try to speak Spanish that, oh, I kind of forgot how to say, come see me tonight, and I asked you for sex instead. Like, what? No, that wasn't an accident. All right, our last couple. I need a full one of these for this couple. Jesse and Darcy. Again, we met them on season 1 of Before the 90 Days. Darcy is 42, trying desperately to still be 22. I mean, desperation station, here she comes. Population Darcy. Like, calm down. Like, you're 42. Own all of those years. So, but no, she doesn't. She clacks around in her Louboutins that add 6 inches to her roughly 4 foot nothing frame. This season, she's gotten so much surgery. I mean, her face is like, I can't even do it. It's like, and then she does this look. Like, I want to smack her every time she's on screen. So there's a lot of talk about how Jesse is like this really domineering guy and he is controlling and he shouldn't talk to her like that. The thing is, though, is that if you listen to what he says to her, he's actually right. He, at 24, which the waters could not be more parted between these two, he has so much maturity and integrity in his own character and just what he's saying to her to try to get her to realize, like, you are fake. You are getting faker by the day. Posting fake stuff on social media doesn't fly with me. And stop acting fake in front of the cameras. Oh, also stop talking over me. Like, none of what he actually says to her is really that far off of stuff that should be said to anyone who treats human beings the way that Darcy treats him. I think she needs meds to calm down. She's constantly like, she's like a fast forwarded tape. Like back in the day when we used to have tapes and like, you know, it would get stuck and like you'd pull it out of the tape player and like all of it would be like unlooped. That's Darcy. I actually hope that she starts to listen to some of what Jesse says before Jesse decides to just leave. They kind of hinted at that at the end of this last episode, episode 5, that he's like, maybe I'll just leave, because he's got to be able to find, he doesn't need her to come to America. I mean, he's a model. He could probably get his own work visa here. I don't understand what he really sees in her. Like when, was it 2 episodes ago? Maybe it was episode 4 when they were still in New York and she was in bed and she was like, baby, please. The blanket's pulled up. She's full face of makeup still. Baby, please. I can't take it anymore. She there's probably a reason why her husband has custody of those 2 girls, because she's a hot mess of back and forth and up and down and hot and cold. And God bless Jesse for putting up with it as much as he does. I mean, I couldn't handle that in a friend, let alone in a relationship. I'd be like, ooh, okay, psycho, call me as soon as that Ativan kicks in. Then we'll have a conversation. Anyways, I cut on a bias. If I heard that one more time this last episode, honey, you have to cut it on a bias. Cut it on a bias, okay? With my struggle ponytail in. Like, what is she doing with her hair? I can't talk. I have purple hair, but what is this bun ponytail, struggle ponytail she's got going on? Like, do you get a headache from that? Maybe that's why she's so hyper. Maybe she doesn't need meds. Maybe she just needs to take out the bun ponytail action that's going on, and then her brain can breathe and she'll calm down. She'll be instantly like, oh, so zen. Maybe that's what she needs. Maybe one of these episodes will have her with her hair down and her makeup off and ooh, I think she has like things in her lips that make her lips go like this. I can't even do it. Like, she got a lot of work. Like, don't let anyone fool you. That is not weight loss. That is completely work. And I forget where it was I was reading, and I think it said something about like how they're like completely done, which will kind of ruin the rest of the season for me if that's true. So I'm going to stop reading whatever it was that I saw. I think it was something on YouTube, unfortunately. But I kind of hope not. They're an interesting couple. I don't know that they're a couple for each other, but again, Darcy makes some good TV, because you could be having like the worst PMS-y type of day, and you watch Darcy and Jesse and you're like, at least I'm not as crazy as Darcy. So there's still hope. I should be able to still maintain some sense of normalcy in my life, because at least I'm not going around yelling, cut on a bias, cut on a bias. I know what my girls like. Like, you know what my kids like? Cereal. And if I made them steak, they wouldn't know if it was cut on the bias or not. I get cutting on the bias keeps it juicy. Totally understand that. But at the risk of demasculating the person who's helping me make dinner, you can cut it however you want. And let's be honest, when she took over cutting, she was cutting it with roughly the equivalent of like a rusty, dull spoon. The knife that she was using wasn't cutting it any more on the bias than Jesse was doing. So hope they enjoyed their steak. Oh my gosh. Could they have made going to the grocery store any more dramatic? Just go to the grocery store. We don't need to talk about Darcy-sized cakes. Like, you know, Jesse was like told by her producer, make this scene work. And he's like, okay, got it. So I was like, oh, look at these cakes. They're Darcy sized. Should we get the carrot cake, babe? Come here and hug me. I can't. So, anyways, that's all the couples. That was my kind of reaction to this last episode. Let me know what you guys are thinking of the couples. If I had to rank them, I guess I kind of just went through like my favorites, like least to most favorite. So most favorite, Jesse and Darcy, just because they're both a little cray. And the fact that they haven't made it through a meal yet, like I wonder if they're going to finish a meal before the season ends. I hope they do, because that's a lot of wasted food that they go through. And then Ricky and flavor of the day, Paul and Karini, Tariq and Hazel, and then Angela and Michael. So tell me who you're rooting for, who you think is the most entertaining couple, who do you wait for their story to come up, and then you're like, oh, I can't miss this. Just anything else. Yeah, let's catch up. So then tomorrow night I will make my video off of the next, I'm playing with all my makeup stuff, off of tomorrow night's episode, and then I'll post that one on Monday and we can talk some more. But I hope that you all enjoyed this weekend recap, or this halfway through the season recap. And yeah, we've got a couple more shows that are coming up that I think we're gonna do some more videos on, but this is definitely the one show that it's like, if I make time to sit down and watch TV, we're watching some pre-K1 visa shows. Anyways, have a great weekend. Peace out.